It's a 2009 Pontiac G8 GT. Bought it new in 2009. Had plans to do some things to it, never got around to it. However, now that I see everybody doing things to their cars, I kind of feel like being stock is actually unique. So I think we're going to stay this way, at least for the time being. The only difference is I got the GXP front end, the GXP back end. Certainly like that a whole lot better. I'm looking at a tune, an intake, full exhaust. I'm not sure about anything internal. I'd like to keep the reliability and the longevity of the car. Just like to wake it up a little bit, tighten up the shifts. You can do all of that, still have your mileage, still have your drivability. I've got 12-year-old triplets. I can put them in the back seat with my wife in the front, 5 suitcases in the trunk, and get 25 miles to the gallon going to Oklahoma. But then there's something under the hood for Dad. I like that it's unique. You don't see them very often. I can be at a red light. I can see Camaros and Mustangs all day long. I love those cars. I'm a car guy. But I do like uniqueness. We took a couple trips out west and down south, and whenever I leave Michigan, I'm usually the only G8 I see on the entire ride.
I got an 09.5 Pontiac G8 GXP, built 291. I have a VCM intake and high flow cats and a tune by Baker Engineering. Cadillac wheels, CTSV wheels on it, and basically other than that it's stock. It's unique to 1,829 cars. Of the G8s, they made around 38,000, but of this trim level, they only made 1,829.
Did you buy it new?
No, I'm a second owner. I had 8,000 miles when I got it. Came from Plano, Texas.
How many miles do you have now?
37,000.
I've got my 2009.5 Pontiac G8 GXP with a little bit of alterations to it.
Tell me about them.
Well, what we've got, actually, I'm from Rochester, New York. I actually came here in 2009 and had Livernoir do all the tune on it. They put the supercharger on it, put the cam in it. We did some initial suspension work on it. And then after that, I started tracking the car at Watkins Glen, and it's really set up for track. So it's a track-ready car with the special suspension on it and things like that. So I actually retired it from Watkins Glen tracking. Well, the suspension system on it, I have the Petters, XA coilovers. We actually removed the frame of the vehicle, and we put bushings on the frame because it was moving when it was coming up through the S's. If you know Watkins Glen, the rear end was moving on it, so we put some bushings on it and stuff like that. It's your standard gray, it's the Maverick gray, but it's got the stripe on it. The stripe on it was dealer installed. I actually flew to Virginia to pick it up because, as you know, the production numbers came out on them. They only made 1,800 of them, as we all know. And the production numbers came out, and I wanted a gray colored one, and the only one that was left was in Virginia. So I flew to Virginia, paid for it. Here it is.
I have a 2008 Pontiac G8 GT, Panther Black Metallic. I have a full bolt-on car with Cook's long tube headers, Corsa catback, catted connection pipes, a heat soak reduction kit, Spectre air intake, Pat G tune, underdrive pulley, updated FE3 suspension, and new bushings. The wheels I'm running on are Z01 replicas. It's a 275 30R20 in the front and a 285 30R20 in the rear. And it's daily driven, and it's my baby. It's pretty quick. It's fast enough for me, but it's going to go under the knife in the spring and get a new cam, and I think I'm going to swap out the Brembo brakes for the front. So.
Nice. What do you got here, bro?
It's a twin turbo G8 here. It's a full forged 403 stroker. Unfortunately, it's dirty from the ride up here from Chicago, but hey, I made it here.
You're from Chicago?
Yep, all the way from Chicago. Don't mind the Chicago Holden sticker there. I can cover that up for the Michigan cruise if you want, but I gotta represent, right? It's a forged 403 stroker, LS9 heads, studded down, LS9 head gaskets, twin 6282s. It's the under pressure performance kit. It's on E85. It's got the Ace Performance Triple Walbro 450 pulse width modulated fuel pump in it. Big old garden hose of a fuel line coming up, so it moves out. Right now I'm only on about 11 pounds, so breaking in the motor, as soon as I get it broken in, I'd like to go up to 21, 22 pounds, and I'd like to put down about 1,200 at the rear wheels. So with a 6.6 liter, I should be able to.
Pontiac G8 GT 2009, Passion Red Metallic or Sport Red Metallic, whatever you want to call it, depends if you're in Australia or the US. It's the 6.0 L76. I got a drag sport cam in it from Rick Crawford, and the LS3 ported heads, the GMPP from Ace Performance, Adam Cooper, American Racing headers, BTR, valve train. I got cutouts. I got 3200 PTC single disc stall. She's making about 420 the rear wheels, right at that. Rick Crawford tune. Got a shout out to my guys, Rick Crawford and at Ace Performance and whatnot. And those guys, they help me out a lot.
What about suspension? Have you done anything with that?
Not yet, unfortunately. That's this winter project, and I don't know. I might be putting a supercharger on it, so we'll see what happens. I actually drove here from Connecticut. I'm stationed out in Connecticut right now, Groton, Submariner. So.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
I'm stationed in Groton, Connecticut.
Did you come here from Connecticut?
Yes, that's why I have a front plate mount. I took them off. I just registered my car in Michigan a couple of days ago. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a trip, 711 miles. Got about 21 miles to the gallon, even with the cam and stuff in it. So it's still pretty good, man. At the city, this stuff right here kills it.
What do you like best about the G8, Jamil?
You know what? I like the fact that it's got 4 doors, and I can beat the pants off just about anybody. That's got to be it. You know what I mean?
The 2008 Pontiac G8 GT, slightly modified. All the work done by Mike Derritt, or MJD Performance.
What you got?
Little Lunati cam. He's done replaced. It's got the DoD delete. Everything on the sheet. BMR, Eibach, and FE3 suspension. Lowering kit. Rotofab cold air intake. Tuned by Pat G. It's a Rick Crawford cam. We're part of a group called Team G8. We do a lot of car shows throughout the summer to draw recognition and attention to some of the veterans type benefits and activities that are going on out there that help veterans. Mike Hill is the person who runs Team G8, but we're all going to be running in the Michigan Gumball Rally next week. There's four cars in our team. My now wife I saw it in a parking lot at a dealership when she was buying a car for her. I brought her attention to this car, and she said, well, why don't you buy it? And I said, are you sure? She's like, yeah, well, you work hard. I said, okay, hey, I'm on board with that. So went ahead and purchased it. I've had it ever since. It's just unique. It's different. It's not like Camaros and Mustangs you see on the road. There's tons of those. You just don't see a lot of G8s. It definitely stands out as a different car, and it just has a very aggressive look that I really like.
This is my 09 G8 GT, and I've had this car 4.5 years now. I bought it with 12,500 miles. It's now got about 166,000, so yes, it's my daily driver, summer and winter. It's been modestly modified. It's got a Rotofab cold air intake. It's got ARH 1 7/8 inch long tube headers in mids with cross pipe and high flow cats, and I kept the stock mufflers and tailpipes, so it's kind of a sleeper. And I just love the G8. It's got a great look. Any angle that you look at the car, it's just got a wonderful stance. And you know, it's just so practical as well. You know, great motor, great suspension, great powertrain, great look. It's big. You can fit 5 adults comfortably in it, and it's fast as all get up. I love the car, and I don't care what happens to this car. As long as it's not totaled, I'm going to fix it because I love this car. So yeah, thanks.